Hi everyone, my name is Jimmy Saroka, and I do social media for a living, and maybe more. Just trying to figure out, exactly what God wants from me, what I'm supposed to do. I'm here with Kate. Kate's my girlfriend. She's also a very amazing human being. We are not necessarily exclusive, but I definitely, if Kate and I weren't dating right now, I would identify as asexual. I am in a place where I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But as everyone's coming in, make sure to say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know who you are. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to go ahead and send me a DM response to the live video, answering questions as I ask them, or just being involved in the conversation. Might seem rather unique, but the conversation can continue in the DMs one-on-one, and I'm always open to that. So, Beauty behind the camera, welcome on. Tiara, welcome on. Tita, welcome on. Bobster, Dip Perfect, June Sophia, and 3 others. Statistic Chick, Moon Baby Sherry, Rick, welcome on. Leon Lang, welcome on. Nikki Red, Gracie Morgan, Brady Alien, Elise, Dina, Kimber, Ryan, and 1 other. Cole, Aisha, and 1 other. Zombie Unicorn. What's up, Ryan? Amistar, welcome on. Tito, welcome from Texas. Schrutz, welcome on. You're not exclusive, says Beauty. Well, I mean, dating. How do I say it? How do I say this? I think we're normal, but we're both so used to just, people have been flirting with either me or Kate, and neither one of us really has a problem with it. We used to be extremely controlling of one another in reference to, the opposite sex. Like, if a girl looked in my direction, Kate, wanted to eat them alive, and I was pretty much the same. So now we're just chilling. I guess we're normal, you might say. It's not that we're not This is how things have not been okay. We're really waking up to how things were not healthy. A lot of fear went around, We were really trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and now we're still trying to figure out what's going on, but just not between us. We're doing pretty good now. Just trying to figure out what to do with our environment and the people in it. Just not sure yet. So, welcome from Central Florida, says Cole. Jay Swift, welcome on. Modern Day, welcome on. Emma Lowry, welcome on. Killer Kayuk, Juliana, welcome on. Emma, welcome on. Generic, Muggsy, what's up? Did Perfect says hello. Dina gave a little heart, thank you. How's your morning? Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It is still a bit early yet for us, even to, for the sun to be up, but it's a happy day. Happy day. Seal, welcome on. What you doing outside, says Tita? Well, it is a beautiful day, and we do not have anyone around us, so just trying to sneak in a little sun. Yogi, welcome on. Samantha, welcome on. Sea King's daughter, welcome on. Good morning from Ryan. Yeah, good morning. Look at that sun. Look at that gorgeous sun. What a good day. Welcome from England, says Killer. Dara, welcome on. Lady Di, welcome on. Rick says, like the Selena Gomez girl. Like the hello. Okay, I thought that was freaking hilarious because I messaged a girl on Instagram. I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even know she's a YouTuber or anything. I messaged the girl because I thought she looked like Selena Gomez. I just go, you look like Selena Gomez. And, that was pretty much, I don't think there was much conversation after that. I don't know what was said or whatnot, and that's fine. I mean, people, whatever. I'm chilling. People make up crap about me all the time. But Kate saw the messages. I literally just said hi to the girl, and it did not go any further. I didn't even flirt with her. I literally just said hello. And then if I remember correctly, I was just smart enough. You guys will just, most of you can probably pick up on about me that I can usually tell pretty quickly what people's intentions are, and so sometimes I ghost, and that pisses people off, and then I hear about it from the public, so, whenever they try to get back at me or whatever for ignoring them. But Marissa, welcome on. Jada, welcome on. That's a good sign. You passed a good point. You trust each other. Yeah, we're beginning to... here's what I have to say. Kate is beginning to trust me, which is awesome. It is not her fault that I do not trust her. I don't trust...
It's partially my fault.
Anyway. it is mostly other people's fault that I don't trust her currently. It is not mostly her fault, and I also am making the choice to reserve my trust very carefully, because I really like my life and my capabilities. For anyone who knows me from years past, a lot of people right now are seeing all this stuff out there about me, and they think this is like round one for me, and like I'm some bad guy, and something happened, and then oh my gosh. I've been on social media for years, and I've had people trying to lie about me and create crap for years. The stuff that anyone saw out there, it was really just me, like, at my worst. When I was living in a town where foster care had started for me, I had pretty much everybody against me. It was a really, really, really scary and hard time. And then I think then the last piece of that is where now Kate is still with me. So people are like, okay, well, if it was really that bad, why are you still with Kate? Like, if she was doing that to you, what the hell are you doing? At this point, are you abusing yourself? And are you in an abusive relationship? I'm not. Kate's normal. I'm normal. We've had our issues. I've had a couple more than the average bear, but I've learned to work through a lot of them, and part of that is really focusing on working through them. As you guys see right now, my content is complete crap. I'm not really putting much out there. I'm not going to say that's intentional, but it is that while we have this hiatus and this retreat, I am most definitely doubling down on getting better emotionally and psychologically. Just working on things and getting my headspace in order, and just healing things and getting them to a much better place. So, like I said, as things get better between Kate and I, and I get my life in order and figure out what to do, or how to go about what I'm going to do, then content will begin to increase and get better. But
we're both in very different places than we were a year ago.
Oh yeah. That's I'm even to move on from that. It's just what I'm trying to convey is, how do I say this? Now that we're good, I'm trying to figure out. I just have to wait for everybody else. I know that sounds weird, but it's really just letting things happen and play out, and let people say their piece and apologize where I can, take crap from the people who give me crap, and like just move forward. But that's it's worth it, because after everything that happened, I'm just grateful that I have my freedom. I'm grateful that Caitlin and I were able to make it out with our relationship and our lives, and I think the hardest part for me is being here and people see my intelligence and they're like, okay, well, then in that scenario, you must have known what you were doing, or like the stuff in the past, you must have known what you were doing, and hopefully it's clear as day to people that I had no idea what I was doing, and to a degree I still don't, but now it's just finally admitting that I don't know what I'm doing, and just reaching out for resources from people who know what they're doing, and also finally educating myself and saying, okay, well, no matter how good my content is, it's just going to keep flopping unless I get better emotionally, psychologically, intellectually. I thought I didn't have anything to work on, and I clearly do, and I'm working on it. And the next piece is people saying, well, it's hard to believe you can't work on yourself, you have to go to therapy, you have to take medication, you have to this, have to that. People don't know me. For anybody who's seen me go viral on social media, if you remember from years ago, I put in a lot of work to make that happen. And now, instead of putting that work into social media, I'm now putting it into the actual mirror. And it's between me and God. And I'm doing a hell of a lot of research just on psychology and different, sorting through my crap and getting forward. So, it's good. So, Stephanie, welcome on. Another Stephanie, welcome on. Not So Cool Cat. Allie, welcome on. And one other. Chris says, hey, welcome on. Coco, welcome on. Kate, you want to go ahead and see? And thank you. Good morning. Chachi, welcome on. Benahan, welcome on. Cool Run, welcome on. Ryan gave hearts, thank you. What's the goal of today's live, says Jada. That's the thing. A lot of people look for our micro goals and things like that, and we're really just not in that place yet. We're not. We're in a place where we're building personal goals. We're not in a place to build professional goals just yet. It kind of has to be done at the same time, but for the most part, we're focusing on our relationship and focusing on real life and just getting that together. So today's live, what's today's live is just going live, making sure that the consistency remains and that we have the public conversation, and just doing my best to communicate a little bit on some of the pieces that I know some people are concerned about. At least that's a start. Joe Charles, welcome on. Sarah, welcome on. Glenn, welcome on. JSM, welcome on. Barbie, welcome on. Seal says, hey, girl, hey. Yeah, Kate's already sorry. Eve, welcome on. How are you guys? Doing pretty well. Miles, welcome on. Welcome from Ireland, Dara. To everybody, guys and girls, hit the DMs. It's always fun talking with you. I will say that the messages we're getting are overwhelmingly positive. Obviously, a few weeks ago they weren't, but at this point we only are hearing supportive, positive stuff. And like maybe every now and again I'll get something negative, but it's really good just to be having people for us to talk to, because as of right now, one of the largest goals of people who do not like me, who see my capabilities and how I have the ability to get forward, is to kind of just drown my voice out and make sure I don't get heard, cut off my resources, make sure that no one trusts me, just all that kind of stuff. Because if they do, when they do, as I get forward, essentially the people who don't like me, that I'm, technically showing up in real life, not on purpose, but just that's how it's happening naturally, it exposes them. And it makes them real scared because they're realizing, oh crap, they're committing crimes, and when I'm doing this and it's being found out that I'm not a criminal, they're going to start to get looked at, and they don't want that. And that's not my goal. I don't really care whether or not they get looked at. It's not my business, not my problem. And ever putting my focus on that was really what, got me messed up. I took focus off myself. So, yeah, I'll put focus back on me, back on Kate. Focus on our life, and just really double down on reality and help people to see reality for what it is rather than what anyone else wants to paint it to be. So, Modern, welcome on. Crispy, welcome on. Bachi Soapco, welcome on. Murdy, Johanna, welcome from New Jersey. Bridge, welcome on. Gonna head out, gonna make something to eat. Have a good day. Alright, enjoy your meal. Kate, welcome on. Rick, welcome on. Abyss Cotney, welcome on. Ali, okay, welcome on. Rosie, welcome on. Austin, welcome on. Johnson, welcome on. Jada, I totally get it. If you understood the level of emotional malice I was experiencing at the time, I was completely illegitimized as a human being by everyone in my entire environment. And I thought that if I was loud enough and tried to express myself enough, someone would hear it. I didn't realize that everyone and my own mother did not care. So I was like, oh, alright, so people are actually this crappy. I need to just step away and get over it. And that's what I did. I said, okay, there's not a single person in my former environment that is decent. So, decent enough to admit their own faults, but that's fine. I admit mine, I move on with my day, and leave whoever needs to be behind. And that's really, really hard for me. And that's why it's the most confusing for me to see people painting me as someone who doesn't care, because I stayed behind for the people that I love. And I now see that was a mistake. So, and me being here with Kate isn't being behind, because Kate was only behind mostly because of other people and partially because of me. And, now us working through our stuff, she doesn't deserve to have to give up all the accomplishments that I'm going to have. She doesn't deserve to have to just settle when she fought so hard to be with me. I love her. I'm very grateful for how hard she fought to be with me and how much she believed in me, and, I love you too. So I'm going to return the favor. It's that simple. As far as what our life looks like in the future, we don't know, but it's good stuff. Mueller, Lucas, welcome on. Lizzie, welcome on. Nate, welcome on. And for anyone who's wondering, okay, well, you're talking a big game, you don't look like you have a big platform, blah, blah, blah. Realize, like I said, I've been holding myself back 5 years. And I mean holding myself back, because it was very hard to believe, like I said, the stuff I just told you. So just coming to terms with that, and I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. I'm there, but think of it like I can logically deduce that is how things are. it is still going to take time for me to emotionally process that, because I'm a human being. And no matter how smart I am, it doesn't change that I need to process it, right? We all do. We all need time to process, so. Modern Ghost, speaking of average bears, I heard you fought one. Is this true? No. That was a lie made an insecurity in the beginning of my career. Or, like, close to it. No. No, like, I was so... Think of it this way. I do have mad skills in social media. And I'm not using any of them because I have to double down on my own life right now. And you guys will see them, you know, as time moves forward and we really get ourselves sorted. But I was telling people about them and they were like, you can't do it. And I'm like, I'm literally doing it. And I was like going viral. I'm like, there it is, you know? But now this time around it's happening for the wrong reason. And it's not happening because of my skill. And that's embarrassing, you know? And I pretty much brought that on myself. So this time around, like, I'm just going to shut my mouth and do it. And not be embarrassed and, you know, make up personal stories because I'm embarrassed. I'm just going to live my life and, you know, look myself in the mirror and say, okay, you're in a rough place and you got yourself here. How do you get yourself through it? Because there's no way out. There's only a way through it. Pringles, welcome on. Kate has a way out if she wants. If she wants to quit, she can quit. But I'm not a quitter. And neither is Kate, so she's here. Modern Ghost, I want to hear the story. More or less, it was the first night of my travels. I had stayed with a couple of campers. They were really nice people. And there was a bear in the camp, and that's it. That's the reality story. Not much more than that. Like, this was a couple years ago. I was very insecure. That's simple.
There's your story for Tell a Story Day.
There you go. Kate says it's Tell a Story Day. It's also one of the days. We got Morse Code Day. So today's Morse Code Day. Not my thing. Tell a Story Day. World Tapir Day. If you were, was it from down under? Is that Australia? Tapirs? Where's tapirs from? I don't know this stuff. So if you know anything about tapir, go ahead and message me. I'm also going to start putting questions in the stories because I see now here there's a feature. I've been away for a minute. There's a feature where you can put questions on, so you guys can go ahead and shoot questions at me and I'll answer them live. Prime Rib Day. Somebody said they're going to be sending me a prime rib later today, so I'm pumped about that. Yeah, I'm going to get a prime rib, and I'll make sure we're doing a live stream on YouTube, I think around 4:30 tonight, or I think it's 4:30. Is it 2:30 or 4:30? Remember?
I think it's
4:30 p.m. Guys, if you ever want to know my live times for different platforms, you're going to be able to find in the About section of, either in the bio or the About section of whichever platform it is. So, Prime Rib Day. Devil Dog Day, Babe Ruth Day. That's a thing. This is, like I said, guys, it's not content time yet. I'm not there. And I'm patient with myself, so thank you for being patient with me. I gotta get my real life together before, I ever really take this seriously again. That might be a couple of months, might be a couple of weeks. Taking it day by day. Day by day. Marine Mammal Rescue Day. Maybe we do something on Twitter about that. That'd be cool. That's definitely a Twitter topic. Go Diaper Free Week. What's that one?
Oh, I wasn't sure about that either. It's about that...
You want to come here and tell them? Or no? You don't have to be on screen, but just that they hear you. Or you just want to tell me?
Okay, so...
What do you want to do?
I was just playing.
Alright, bye.
Okay.
Sorry, I mean it.
It's where, there's, like...
See, but that's what I used to do.
There's someone who, is... Like, because diapers are so expensive, horrible for the environment, and, if you don't change your kids' diapers enough, they can get rashes and all that sort of stuff. It's like potty training your children at a younger age so that you don't...
So it's like potty training week?
I guess.
Maybe we could teach me how to wipe my own butt. I get called, oh my gosh, how many messages I get about that. That is hilarious. Kate doesn't do that anymore.
No, I don't.
She's a sweetheart. This girl, I mean, you gotta realize when that was happening, like, I wasn't even operable as a human being. I had been beaten so heavily that I literally couldn't move. So, yeah. Justin gave a thumbs up. Thank you. Come to San Diego. Best place to get yourself together. That's what I hear, actually, ironically enough. Have you seen the movie Instant Family, says Crispy. I have not heard of the movie Instant Family. Slato, welcome on. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Much appreciated. Sweet Blossom Gaming, welcome on. Good morning. We have our moments, but putting on your girlfriend and recording at another level despite having a presence on social media. Jada, I was like non-existent mentally. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I'm not making an excuse. I'm not putting it on Kate. Kate, am I putting it on you?
No.
Do you feel pressure?
No.
No, it's not on Kate. So, we're chilling. Thank you, though. Intelligence, says Pringles. Gotta just keep working on things. Thanks for the thumbs up. Alright. Miley Maria, welcome on. Steven, welcome on. Dina, welcome on. Yeah, Ryan, I get you. Ryan says that about trust should come from you alone. I agree, Ryan. So then I guess I'll stop making excuses, and I will say the fact that I don't trust Kate because of Kate. You know, that's how it is. I don't want, how do I say this? I don't want people to think the wrong thing about Kate because they now think the wrong thing about me because they saw how I was, and explaining to you what was going on with Kate isn't necessarily my business. But understanding that, think of it this way. Kate saw me on the inside, and like she saw what I was capable of. She saw it like sitting on the mountain, like being able to talk to people, seeing what's going on, blah blah blah, getting all that attention, and getting it all at once, and then kind of coming from a life where she was the center of attention, and so it was just an absolutely huge temptation, and like a temptation to take control and take over, and she knew how to do it. She had been taught, she knew how to do it, and so I don't hold it against her. This is the point I'm making. Because there was almost no humanly possible way for her to have not taken control of my life. Like, I don't think anyone gets that. Think of it like she's knowledgeable, she's very smart, she knew exactly what to do, and at the same time, I was at my weakest point, and then she also knew that if I hopped on that screen, it would only make me look worse. And, you know, just like anybody else in a normal situation, just those hopes that it could just be buried. You know what I mean? That if I fell off the map, that what she did would be buried, what everybody else did would be buried, and then it would be finished. You know, throwing away human life. But I do not fault her for that because she may have done the worst thing, but she did the least wrong. If that makes any sense. Like, she was not aware necessarily at that point in time just how bad what she was doing was. No different than me. I was not aware of how bad what I was doing was. And that may be hard for some people to ascertain, but it is the truth. So, like, I was just not coherent. I was, think about it like I was so focused on everyone around me that I didn't realize how poor my behavior was. So, that's essentially what I have for you. But it's really, really sad to see people who have never been in a situation like that, who do not know what it's like, nor have any compassion for it, and then would willingly roast another human being when they cannot relate to the pain that I've experienced. So I have compassion for those people. I have compassion for you if you misunderstand me, and I'm not backing down from the fact that I am misunderstood. And it's on me to simply continue to accept treatment as though I am an illegitimate human being, and that, you know, my voice goes unheard and that people think that I'm just whatever. That's fine. I'm just going to deal with it. Because if I'm ever going to help other people to make sure that they don't get to the point that I got to of being used.
Is this y'all's first time in Georgia?
No.
No?
Nope. It'll probably be our last, though.
Don't like it down here?
Oh, I love it down here.
Oh, really? I thought I heard you say it's gorgeous down here or something, like the way it looked and everything.
I do.
I was just wondering if this is the first time here.
Yeah, nope.
No.
Thank you. That's how the way the cookie crumbles. Welcome to my life. So, where was I going from there? It's just continual treatments of beating, continual abuse, and it never ends. and I now willingly take it on so that in my future I can help ensure that other foster children and people who go through what I've been through don't end up as blind and confused as my life has brought me to, as I continue to be misunderstood, as I continue to be judged, and just told that I'm illegitimate as a human being. I forgive, but I never forget, which is part of why Caitlin will need to work to gain my trust. As well as most people who are natural born, you will have to earn my trust. That may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to treat me as a human being, and not doing so simply because you don't like my behavior in the past, or you don't like who I am, or how I am. That's on you, it's not on me. And I am done forcing myself to change who I am. Now, some of the behavior you've seen from me, it's a different story. That was inappropriate. But who I am as a human being has always been illegitimized. And I didn't really realize it until Kate was the one who helped me see it. How poorly I've been treated, and how I never really was treated like a person. And so any patterns you see right now, guys, it's just a continuation of the past. Like, I was always treated that way. Even as a kid, I was treated like I just was this bad seed. And it's just so not true. And so now I'm being real good. My life is good, my relationship's good, and I'm learning how to treat people well, even realizing that they just don't know me. And that way I can help other people who are misunderstood the way that I've always been misunderstood, to get their point across, and also be treated with sensitivity, and not not assimilated and identified with people who legitimately have mental illness. And that is essentially what's happening, is people like myself who are separated from their natural birth are being treated like we have an illness or a problem, no different than homosexuals back in the day. And it's sick, and it's depraved. But just because it's not a gender identity or a race doesn't make it any more illegitimate. It doesn't make it illegitimate. So I'm going to keep working on that and see what can be done. Paige, welcome on. Looks nice and warm where you are, says Blossom Gaming. It is. Country Artistry, welcome on. It doesn't hurt to go to therapy. And in my case, it doesn't help either. And that's my particular case, because the entire system is geared towards people who think of it like the understanding within the world of psychology right now has its baseline in natural-born citizens and natural-born peoples. There are certain reservations at this point in time made for people who have been separated, or people who have experienced certain traumas, but there is a certain shift in reality for people like me. And I only came to recognition of that shift in reality, and that I was off about reality, because I didn't see the difference. I didn't see the difference between me and natural-born peoples. And even people like me, there's no education out there about it. So, what is happening here and what has happened in my life is literally unprecedented and almost unheard of. So now being able to turn around and try and use it to make a difference and help people see, like, whoa, hey, I'm not making this up. This is something can be done about this. This is absolutely huge. It makes everything I've been through worth it. It makes everything I'm going through worth it, and it makes everything that I'm going to go through worth it. And it also makes having compassion, understanding, forgiveness for all the people who misunderstand me and have misunderstood my actions and my negligences. It just makes it all easier. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it takes the weight off. Hopefully, it leads to forgiveness of others, of me, and understanding that any inappropriate behavior from my end of things was accidental, as hard as that may be to believe, but it also does not speak to illness, and I'm going to have to be the one to figure out how to communicate that. I just don't know how to do it yet. Rick says, why were you on medication? For what? Rick, I would answer your question, but unfortunately, for your case, I am someone who is extremely intelligent, and because I am separated from most of the BS and drama, and I found my way of the deepest deceptions of the heart of a lot of people, both natural born and otherwise, I have the ability to absolutely see through the agendas of others without paranoia, because I'm not paranoid, I'm very smart. And so, from here on in, just know that if your goal is to deceive me more than likely by the time you hit my inbox, I already see it. And if I'm continuing to answer you, it's because I'm bored. So, you know, and I say that with a bit of pride because I'm a bit pissed that people keep trying to mess around with me and think that I'm dumb. It's very disappointing that people see me as though I'm lower intelligence because I haven't had the privileges they've had. It's actually the exact opposite. I'm a hell of a lot smarter because I've had to push my way through and fight my way through to survive. So, and most people from my position do. So, I say thank God for my struggles because they have made me, like, God-level intelligent. And it's amazing. And it's not narcissism. I'm not full of myself. It's just I can see through deception on levels that most people never do. And I'm just so blessed and grateful. And, you know, I've had people try to get me to fight for either side of the coin. So on one side of the coin, get me to expose stuff, right? And make that my goal and like what I do with my life. While I've had other people try to get me to work for their cause and just live for them, right? Well, okay, well, you're so smart. Well, let's fit you in this box. Let's get you to do this. And I don't think either one was necessarily an ill intention, right? I think inside people say, okay, well, you're really smart. You can help us to stop this bad thing. And I say no to them. And I think on some level people say, okay, well, you won't help us stop bad people. You must be one. I'm like, no. On the other end, people saying, okay, well, you can, help us to do good within our cause, right? You're foster, you're displaced. Well, here's a place for you. You can come and you can be a part of our agenda and the things that we need help with. I say, okay, well, no. All right, well, then you must just be lazy. You don't want to be productive. And that's not true either. The truth is that I have finally found my purpose within the system of foster care, within people who have been displaced from their families. There's just a particular part of our brain that works differently. And it's not an illness, it's not a problem, it is being separated from our nature. If you make it through, like I said, me personally, I made it through just a lot of deception. We don't have to be left to the wayside, and we don't need to be left with an illness. We don't need to be just thrown away continually. So I found my purpose, I found my cause, and it's a cause that is not very well advocated for. It's not very well understood. It's mostly pushed under the rug, even to today in our society. So there we go. And I'm not going to apologize to anyone for not hopping on board with your agenda or with the things that you're trying to work towards. And I'm not going to apologize for keeping my mouth shut about expositions having to do with negligences and maladapted systems that I do see having to do with the causes of others. What I'm going to do is advocate for my cause and for the people that need my help that I can relate to, because that's the most good that I can do. And then on top of that, rally with people of other causes who, are, funny enough, the advocacy for foster care will really bring together a lot of causes, because there are people, as I've said this before, there are people who came from foster care who are, essentially we're from every walk of life. Although the system may discriminate in the way that each of us are treated, foster, being separated at birth is non-discriminatory. We all can be subject to that. Any of us could be subject to that at any time. And so it's a cause that can bring a whole lot of different causes together and create camaraderie and community within our country in a way that is completely unprecedented at this point, because there's a lot of divisive goals right now in society. Not the goal is to bring together, but it's still divisive to a degree, right? Whether it's women's rights, whether it is rights for race, whether it is LGBTQ, it brings that group of people together, which is awesome and wonderful, absolutely awesome and wonderful. The next step is, how do we bring a whole lot of causes together? How do we bring people? Now, obviously, LGBTQ is not, race discriminatory, clearly. But the point I'm trying to make is that being displaced from one's family can affect anyone. Anyone. You could be a refugee. You could be a natural-born citizen. You can be of any sexual identity. You could be any gender identity. You could be any color. And it can affect anyone. So for me, why have I just snapped into reality is the realization of how big this could be. And knowing that God still has me on this earth, there's still breath in my lungs, and there's still so much that can be done, and just, I want to spearhead it, because I've always wanted a purpose, I've always wanted a cause, and all I had to do was look in the mirror, but I was very, very afraid to, because I was always told, even from young, that what is in that mirror is not nearly as important as I thought it was. And I was told that I was full of myself and narcissistic, and and this attitude that a lot of people have seen from me, where I felt like the world is out to get me. Well, when I was a kid, I was very much treated as though the world was out to get me, right? Is, hey, the world's not out to get you, but don't go to the mall because kids are smoking weed. Or, the world's not out to get you, but don't have sex because you're going to end up with an STD. It was just, I was afraid of everything and everyone. And then as I became an adult and I was afraid to go out into the world, I was told that it was because I was weak and I was afraid. Because I was engineered that way. And now seeing I don't have anything to be afraid of, so long as I'm educated and I understand what's going on, and I make sure to only involve myself in life with people and situations that are going to be healthy for me, then I'm good. There's no need for that fear if I'm just educated. And a lack of education is a very large reason why so many people in our country are afraid of one another. So, while the mainstream media to some degree is still very lustful towards fear, inciting fear in people and building out this negative environment where people become their product, it is very much slighted towards capitalism in a way that's not necessarily healthy. But being so objective to all this, in my personal opinion, the best way to go about it really will be to find a fusion between these socialistic ideals and the capitalistic ideals without losing our free market economy. That's that's an economical standpoint. I am not educated on most of these things, but I'm the guy who has always kind of stood on the outside and looked at it and said, there's so many angles to this. It's not just social. And it's so important that we recognize that, like I said, is the fight towards foster equality is not just social, it is economical. And both of those beasts, you might say, must be satisfied in order for us to gain our freedom and gain our equality. And if we only focus on one or the other, we're going to end up fooled again. And that can't happen. And I don't think anyone wants to be fooled anymore. So I'd like to spearhead this. And anybody that has my back on it, I'll lead the way, but understand that I am still stupid. And there's a hell of a lot that I need to learn. And I'm in full recognition of it. So please, if there's anything else I will beg for, I've begged for money, I begged for food, I begged for housing, I begged for friends. You know what I'm begging for now? Education. I will beg you to educate me on your people, educate me on ways that I can speak more clearly and more with greater tact. I beg you to help show me what ways I'm not getting across. Let me know what I'm doing poorly. Let me know my failings, because I'm officially begging to fail so that I can find my way through it to succeed one day, because eventually one success will come, and it's not going to come until I start embracing that failure and quit crying about it. So I know I missed the comments at this point, but I wanted to be heard, and I wanted you to know that I want to hear you, and I don't think we're ready for this to be a fully public conversation yet. So please hit the DMs, let me know who you are, what you're all about, and educate me, because it's time that, something be done with my life rather than just being thrown away. So, thanks a lot, and talk to everybody very soon.